Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony, here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And this is a pick a card reading on what is your intuition trying to tell you. I hope that this reading will be a really good clarifier if you've been getting any repeated messages through your intuition lately, but you're just trying to find clarity on what that message is. Real quick, I'm going to talk about the many ways that your intuition can speak to you, and then you guys will be able to choose your cards. So, one of the first ways that your intuition can talk to you is through auras, your ability to see energy or sense energy. You might have been seeing orbs of light around certain objects or items or people. Maybe you're getting like flashes of insight. It could be through colors or through just like sensations. So your intuition can talk to you through auras. The next one is through writing. Maybe you're writing in your journal and you're getting like a message. Maybe when you write, it's almost like something else takes over you completely. It could also be through books that you've read. Maybe you're getting repeated messages like in the books that you're reading. Maybe people are speaking a repeated message to you. You're hearing it everywhere you go. It could also be like memes that you're reading or emails that you're getting or something, just repeated messages through the form of writing or what is being spoken to you. Another way is through divination. Maybe angel numbers like 222 or 444 or 1111. Perhaps you keep seeing the same animal everywhere. Maybe you're just seeing deer everywhere. Or like when I was in India, maybe you're seeing monkeys everywhere. So repeated animals could be another message. Also changes in the weather. Sometimes you sense a shift like through the change in the weather and you sense like the energy is shifting around you. You can also sense your intuition through clairaudience, through hearing messages, like receiving intuitive messages through your inner hearing. This can sound like directions, like stop, or go that way, or choose that one. It might even sound like your own voice, but it could be coming through your voice of reason. Another way that your intuition speaks to you is through claircognizance, which is basically your inner knowing, just knowing something inside of you. Then there's clairvoyance, receiving messages, almost seeing like movies, like dramatic visions inside of your head, flashes of visions, receiving premonitions through your third eye, through your psychic vision. Another way is through your clairsentience, and I think this is the most common way that people receive flashes of insight from their intuition is through like messages through your physical feelings or through your emotions or even through your physical sensations. And then there's also messages you can receive through your dreams or through your meditations. So if you're interested to see which way that your intuition is speaking to you the most, check out my pick a card reading called What Are Your Psychic and Spiritual Gifts? And we use my deck in order to pull cards for you and see like which way your intuition is speaking to you and which area you're more gifted in. This can help you tap more into your intuition. A lot of you guys have been asking questions lately on how to tap into your intuition. That reading is a great place to start, and I will definitely be posting more on this soon since so many people have been requesting it. So, what has your intuition been trying to tell you? I want you guys to pick a feather, okay? My feathers have gotten a little bit mangled because of travel. Hopefully I'll pick up some new ones in my path. Number 1 is the woodpecker feather. This is actually a woodpecker feather. How crazy is that? So number 1, the woodpecker feather. Number 2, the parrot feather. So number 2, the parrot feather. Number 3 is the vulture feather. And number 4 is the hawk feather. So choose whichever feather resonates with you, or choose a number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4. And if you choose number 1, the woodpecker feather, we're gonna get started. And if you choose any of the other numbers, head down to the comments below. My amazing followers always put the timestamps for me, and I really appreciate that. So let's get started. Number 1, the woodpecker feather. What is your intuition trying to tell you right now? Well, the first card that's coming out is from my Enchanted Tarot, and this is actually a message about abundance and wealth. So this could have to do with financial prosperity. And I see these stars up here. It's almost like this message of like it's in the stars for you. I feel like the energy is really aligning right now. We have Jupiter that's direct finally after months of being, retrograde, and we do have some really beautiful energy coming in for abundance. And so I do believe that you're getting messages and signs that abundance is coming. You might even be getting guidance on how to take action to develop abundance. Sometimes money does just fall into your lap, especially if you're doing meditations and affirmations for money. I remember the first time I ever tried to like manifest money, like consciously and specifically using the law of attraction through a meditation. I manifested a specific amount of money because I wanted to test it out, and that number was $222. And about 3 weeks after that, I got a check in the mail for $222, and it was like this random check, and it was I had bought a car, and I don't even know what happened. It was so weird, like I paid too much for something, and it was like some kind of refund. It was so random, and it was for $222.12 or something, and I was just shook, and I was so excited to show my partner and tell him it works, and I went down after that and did another meditation. I was just like, wow, this is amazing. Did you guys know that we really do have the ability to draw money to us? Money is energy, just like anything else, and you have the ability to call energy to you. And so I definitely recommend a meditation for money. I did a pick a card reading recently, actually, a couple of weeks ago, called Pick a Card Reading Finances. And at the beginning of the pick a card reading, we actually do a meditation to manifest money, and it's very powerful. It's the exact meditation that I did to manifest that random check out of nowhere. And so this is also a message to clear your limiting beliefs about how money can come to you, because maybe you think it's only going to come through a job, it's only going to come through this thing, but it could come through many ways. And maybe you're being called to kind of stir the pot a little bit and try something new, and to like start a side hustle or something to develop more income. Maybe this is a message that money you've been waiting for is coming to you. And then we see the creativity card. So this could be talking about getting money through following your creativity. And this is one of the main things I talk about on my channel. I was struggling along my earlier journey, you guys. There was even one point where I was on disability. I even was on food stamps at one point. It's funny looking back on it. I'm definitely not proud of it, but who else has been there? Like sometimes like shit hits the fan and like you're just in this desperate situation. So how did I get from that to living in an infinite abundance and traveling the world? Through following my creative impulses. I started a business revolving around fashion styling and also doing makeup. I never went to college or school for either of these things. I just found ways to get involved. I was vulnerable and started an Instagram and a website. You know, I found people that I could message and contact and be like, hey, do you want to meet up and collaborate? I did a lot of work for free, building my portfolio. As far as the makeup artist job went, I trained myself by watching a lot of YouTube videos and just practicing on my own face. And, eventually, I put a bunch of pictures out there and somebody slid into my DMs and was like, hey, can you do a makeup artist job this weekend? It pays $300. And I was like, yes. And so you'd be surprised. You can actually make money doing something creative, and you don't necessarily have to go to school for it. But what you do need to do is you have to be responsible for practicing your craft almost every day. You got to keep the momentum going. You can't just expect it to happen overnight. You have to hustle, you have to work, and you have to grind at some point. And so this is what it's going to take to turn this into a reality. Even if you're starting at the bottom, it's okay. Like I've said many times on this channel, I started my fashion business by just going to the thrift store and spending $10 to get like a little outfit, and finding a friend who wanted to model and finding another person who wanted to take the pictures. And I had to put myself out there. I had to email people. I had to lurk. I had to search the hashtags on Instagram to find people who were, doing makeup and photographing and stuff like that. And so you're gonna have to work. But the amazing thing is that we have social media. I don't know if I would have had these opportunities a couple years ago. I feel like things have really changed, and no matter what you want to do that's artistic, you can find a way. If you do feel like you need to go to school to develop your creativity, trust yourself and trust that message. Some people feel like, you know what, I'm going to do a lot better in a program. But even if it's something like graphic design, I mean, there's so many tutorials out there on how to use certain programs and how to get things going. So empower yourself through technology and find a way to share your gifts and get some kind of portfolio going. And you can even you can knit scarves and sell them on Etsy. There's just so many websites and so many platforms on how you can connect and share your gifts and actually get money through it. But once again, don't expect it to happen overnight. It took me 10 years of working for free as a fashion stylist before I got my first paycheck, but it was worth it. And honestly, the whole time I had so much fun, and you kind of have to let go of like the whole money thing. There were 5 years into it, I really wanted to make money and I almost gave up, but I was like, I love doing this. I don't care if I get the money. And funny enough, it's that attitude that leads you to the money, where you just kind of surrender and let go and just follow the flow. There's nothing to lose with following your creativity because it's fun, that the journey is fun. Have you ever heard that saying, it's not the journey, it's not the destination, it's the journey. And so the journey of doing something creative and getting money for it is actually really fun. And so your intuition might be telling you it's time to start. It's time to get your website up. It's time to get your social media going. It's time to share. It's time to connect with other people. It's time to take opportunities. It's time to get training or to train yourself. And everybody starts at the bottom, and that's okay. That's another pick a card reading I did called It's Okay to Start at the Bottom. Check that one out. There was a point with this channel where I had 1 follower. And I was just doing a bunch of readings, and I first started this channel doing readings for people for free, just to get experience and to practice. And I got personal coaching with a psychic, and she helped train me. And I also watched other people's YouTube videos and took notes, and I studied the tarot myself. And then I started my channel and I started doing readings for people for free. Pretty soon I got so exhausting I had to charge $10. And then here I am today, trying to keep my prices low for you guys, having to limit orders because I'm getting so many. And, it's really cool. You just keep going and things will expand. And so I even have more ideas on the things I want to do creative to draw money and abundance and happiness into my life. So keep going. And I do believe whatever your creative talent is, you can actually draw abundance into your life through that. And I think this is a message for you. But they're saying you have to have the willingness to stick with it. Like I said, it took me 10 years. I don't know if it's going to take you that long. The fashion industry can be kind of difficult to break into, but they're talking about having the willingness to just go for it, to take a risk. And then this card says embrace your weirdness. I made this card, can you tell? Because sometimes the things that make you the weirdest actually are what ends up being what you do with your life. For instance, back when I was in school, I'm wearing this lipstick kind of symbolically because I used to wear like bright ass red lipstick to school every day, and I was like always so extra, and like I wore these crazy like runway outfits to school, and I wore high heels and stilettos. Always falling down the stairs and everything. People were always staring at me. And this is back in the day when people would only wear just like Hollister and Abercrombie and jeans. So there's everybody in their jeans and their sneakers and backpacks. And I'm walking around in this gown with these red lipstick on with like a hat and like gloves and like a dress. School was my runway. And so I just think it's funny fast forwarding, 10, 15 years later, and I'm living my job as a fashion stylist, that embrace your weirdness, Something else that was kind of weird about me is that I would always give people advice, whenever someone was down, I just felt like, wow, I want to help you, I always like wanted to help people and to serve others, and it's always something kind of weird about me, I guess, but now it ends up being a job. And so think about what you're naturally good at. Think about like the weirdest aspects of yourself and like your funny quirks, and that's actually a message about what you're supposed to be doing with your life. This is also saying you have to have courage. It's really scary starting at the bottom and putting yourself out there. When I first posted my first video, I was terrified because I had been doing all this fashion stuff and I had friends and I had a community, I knew people who were very religious. I was really scared that people were going to think I was like a devil worshiper or something for doing tarot, or that I was doing something wrong, because I came from a very strict religious background. And I had this inner guidance, and my intuition was telling me to do this, and I was so scared about just like what people would think, and I think that's something we all struggle with when it comes to being creative. You have to have the courage to act on your intuition, even if other people around you don't understand. There's always going to be people that have opinions about what you're doing. There's always going to be people out there that judge you and think what you're doing is wrong, no matter what it is. And so as a light worker, as a healer, as a creative person, having courage is going to help to be able to start at the bottom and try something. And you know what? Maybe you try something and it ends up not being what you do overall, but that path will lead you forward. I'm drawing a lot of parallels between my personal life with this particular message, just because I feel like it will help you guys. I used to be like a music writer and a fashion writer for the longest time. And there came a point where I kind of gave up on that, even though at the time it was like my big dream. But then that kind of led me to another area, to where I'm at right now. And so whatever your creative impulse is right now, even if you quote unquote fail or you give up on it, I don't really think there's such thing as failure. It's just stepping stones to your success. So think of it that way. Have the courage to put yourself out there, and you never know who you would inspire. It's been cool seeing friends of mine and people that I know like putting themselves out there, and I feel like it's because maybe they're watching me and seeing me be vulnerable and do it, and they're connected with other people that are doing it. If you put yourself out there, you never know who else in your circle, who else is going to see you, and it's going to help give them permission to do the same, so you can inspire other people. To me, there's nothing more inspiring than someone who just like starts something new at the bottom. That's just very inspiring to me. And this is talking about being a seer, being a psychic. Maybe some of you guys who are watching this are thinking, maybe I should start a tarot channel, or maybe I should do energy healing, or maybe I should do something more spiritual as like a side job or as part of my career. And so if that's you, I don't think that's everybody who picked this message, but if that's you, trust yourself and know that you can do it. You don't have to be perfect in order to help people with guidance. You do want to do a certain amount of healing and make sure that you're able to, as best as you can, walk your talk, but this is saying you don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to wait until like you're perfectly healed or until everything's perfectly aligned for you to move forward. I started this business when I was extremely depressed, and I was getting therapy, and I was on disability, and so it was kind of a way for me to like heal and to connect with others, and it's really just helped me so much. And so you can be blessed as you help bless others. Also, just for anyone who's interested, I do mentor people and train people how to read the tarot and how to do a healing business. I've helped people start their businesses. So if you want to start something creative, or you want to start a business and you want to be mentored, or you want to be trained, head over to my website, promiseharmony.com/services. I offer coaching, and my coaching package, I've researched it, is one of the most affordable coaching packages out there for what you're getting. I paid triple that price to be coached myself, and so I wanted to make it accessible and for people who are kind of starting at the bottom and need some coaching or training. But that's just a recommendation. If your intuition is telling you to, hit me up, but you can certainly do it by yourself. This is also saying be playful. Follow the path of your inner child. When it comes to developing more money in your life and more abundance and your soul mission and life purpose, whatever is the funnest thing for you is what you should be doing. And remember, that's how you're going to make the most money, because when you're in that fun, lively energy, it's a very receptive energy, it's a very bright aura. And if you choose something that you don't love, let's say that you decide to be a lawyer because you know it's going to make lots of money, but you don't really love that. Shout out to anybody out there who's a lawyer and who loves it. It's a beautiful job. I see that as a very spiritual job and very helpful, and it is very abundant. But let's say you choose that job just for the security of it, but you don't actually love it. Well, this is actually telling you that you won't actually make as much money as you think. There might be blockages. You could have health issues. There could be stuff falling apart all around you because that's not really what you're truly aligned with. And so the best thing to do is choose what you're aligned with. And it's scary when you realize you're aligned with something like fashion, or you're aligned with something like tarot, and you don't come from a situation that seems to support that. Maybe you've grown up in poverty, or there's been you know, a lot of lack mentality around you, or for certain reasons you don't have as much opportunity, and so that can seem kind of scary. But you know, where there's a will, there's a way, and the universe will open doors for you if it's truly what you love and what you're meant to do. And the only way to know is just to have the courage and the willingness and to go for it. So, I served it. I hope that that resonates with you and really lines up with what your intuition was trying to tell you. And I will see you later. Peace out. So for those of you guys who choose number 2, the parrot feather, let's go ahead and get started. What is your intuition trying to tell you right now? So let me just take a look at your cards real quick. Okay, I think this might be a message about like something you need to tell somebody, because you see in this card, this person is writing a message and pointing at it, and it's like this specific message. And it makes me think it might be a message of like a new beginning or something. This could have to do with love. I had a feeling like for some of you guys that picked this could be a love message. Maybe someone has extended you an opportunity in love, but you weren't sure, should I go with it? Should I like hang out with this person? Should I contact them or whatever? And I feel like this is a message to go for it. This might even be a message you're going to be receiving communication regarding your love life. Like somebody new could be coming in, or even someone from your past could be returning. It is Venus retrograde at the time that I'm doing this reading, although this is a timeless reading. Currently it's Venus retrograde, and so if you're watching this reading shortly after I uploaded it, this could also be like a huge message someone could be writing you or reaching out or something. This is also talking about a breakup. For some of you guys, not for all of you, this could be a message to tell your partner, this isn't working out, we need to separate. For some of you guys, this could be signing divorce papers, but I'm getting like, you know, new beginnings, like really positive vibe around this, like it's a good step for you. So if that is resonating, take that message. For the rest of you guys that doesn't resonate with, I am feeling like this is a new beginning that is stemmed from you stepping away from something. This is another message about love, I think. It could be a message, there's dual messages here. For those of you guys that are like breaking up with someone, or on the other side of a breakup, or newly divorced, or thinking about getting a divorce, or in the middle of the process, this could be a message to just let this person go. You know, they've been through a lot. But it's almost like a message of an emotional block where your opportunities are actually being thwarted and being blocked by the toxic energy around this person. So you do need to let them go. I see another message here, dual messages once again. For those of you guys who are like single and thinking about reaching out to somebody, or like you're receiving a message from somebody soon, this could be a message that this person has come to step forward, and they didn't before because there was just too many blockages and there was just a lot going on, and you'll discover soon that like the reasons why you were out of touch with this person. Regardless of your message here and what's resonating with you, there is a message about destiny, like this path is your destiny, so follow forward on your gut intuitions. It's like you've been feeling really jaded lately in love because of these entanglements. This is definitely a message about cutting the cords and having some really big decisions to make in love. So, you know, it could be, I think it's positive for everybody, but basically this is either a message about walking away from someone or a situation, or finally finalizing the divorce or something, or it could be a message about, you know, receiving communication from someone, or needing, it's time to reach out and express yourself. It does have to do with self-expression and a beautiful new beginning for you. So I hope that this resonates. I'm sending you so much love and light. Peace out. That scared me. It was the doorbell. I like jumped. Okay, whew. So for those of you guys who chose number 3, the vulture feather, let's get your message. Okay, so we got the high priestess. Let's actually look at my book. I took a lot of notes on this card. So funny enough, this is the card that represents intuition. Huh. So what is your intuition trying to tell you? And then we pull the intuition card. So it's like a strong message. Yes, your intuition is trying to tell you something. And this message actually revolves around needing to get in touch with your spiritual gifts and your psychic abilities. It's like your intuition has really been screaming at you lately, and you might have been avoiding it or unsure about what is happening. This is saying that solitude and silence will show you the way. This actually might be a message that you need to meditate, a call to meditation. This is saying it's time to listen to your inner voice, meditate. And this also, for those of you guys who are female, this actually might be a message about getting in touch with your moon cycle or your menstrual cycle, because I've been talking with a lot of clients about this lately. It's something I learned from actually someone who mentored me. If you guys are interested, you can email me if you want to know who this mentor is and you want to get mentored by her, because it was awesome. And she talked to me a lot about my moon cycle. And what I realized is, as a female, there's really only 2 weeks out of the month that you can be really productive. Like the first week of your cycle, like you're completely indisposed, and like you might be feeling very emotional and tired and just all those symptoms, you know? And so if you try to move forward during that time and take action, it can backfire, or it can just be kind of rough on you. And then the week before also is like a week where, you know, obviously you're PMSing, and so it might be kind of a similar energy. But then the week after and then the week before the PMS, if that makes sense, those 2 weeks are a really dynamic, creative, powerful time. And so learning how to harness that energy and work really hard during those 2 weeks, and also learning not to be so hard on yourself the other 2 weeks, it's actually really helped me, because, you know, I had such high expectations for myself. And I think, you know, going to school for so many years, the education system, and then also working at a 9-to-5 job, and just like in this routine, like you're expected to be productive, like, and you don't get very much vacation sometimes, and you just gotta plow through it. But that's actually not healthy for our bodies. That's actually not healthy at all. And I've actually made a point to like put my cycle and like my life, kind of build my life around my cycle. And I always take 3 days off from the readings and everything when I'm on my moon, so I can just relax and not be so stressed. And so this is actually saying, you know, try to find a way as much as you can to just chill out your energy during that time and not expect so much of yourself, and realize that this is a very sacred time, and it needs to be honored as much as you can. Don't feel guilty if you have to take a day off work, or if you need to go slower, or if your brain's kind of foggy. You can't be expected to be on point every single day. Like, it's just not gonna work like that, you know? And so this is a message to just go easy on yourself related to that. There's another message that you'll be leaving difficult times behind. This swan is a huge message, once again, about your intuition and clairvoyance, but also saying smoother waters are ahead. Don't expect your future to be like your past. This is saying you completed a death cycle. And so recently in your life, the past couple months, or maybe the past couple weeks, there could have been a time of loss, a time of depression, a time where certain, you know, people, places, situations were leaving your life. And so this is saying this is natural. Allow whatever is leaving your life to leave. Welcome whatever energy is entering your life, even if it feels or seems a little bit sinister. Another message about your moon cycle here. There's obviously this message of rebirth, because what comes after death and loss? Rebirth. So this is kind of foreshadowing a beautiful rebirth that's coming into your life, and to just kind of hang on and be open for it. When that rebirth comes, when you get that boost of energy, or when you are off your moon cycle, you're going to start feeling very creative. So they're saying use this energy and harness this energy to think of new ideas. This is the card that says stir the pot. Whenever I pull this card, it's like telling me that I need to think of some ideas and be ready to take action. And so if there's anything you need to manifest in your life, maybe you're trying to manifest a new living situation, or more money, or a new job, or a partner, or something like that, new friendships, new opportunities. It's talking about thinking of ways that you can actually take action and take the first step to get the momentum going for what it is that you want to manifest. You really don't have to do much when you manifest. You just need to have a clear intention of what you want and be willing to take a little bit of action. And then the rest of it is just surrendering and allowing it to come to you. So remember, it's not just about work. Take action, take action, take action, take action. It's a balance, okay? And so this might even be a message to research the moon cycle and how to flow with the moon cycle, and how to flow with your own personal moon cycle, if that makes sense. And, no one's immune to this energy. When it's a full moon, even my partner, I don't know if he can hear me right now, he's over there. He gets really moody on the full moon, like very moody. And like it's every month, just like those 2 days are on the full moon, very moody. And I think everyone kind of does. And so they're saying, remember, like there's certain times of the month for everybody that are difficult, and maybe you've just been worried or upset that things aren't going at a certain pace. But you have to remember that there's certain times during a cycle that are, conductive to moving forward, and there's certain times where you're really just supposed to be resting and surrendering. This might even be a message to you about resting and more relaxation, and realizing establishing ease for yourself and being in a high vibration can sometimes be more productive than stressing yourself out and running yourself ragged. And so the last couple cards are talking about change coming in your life. So your intuition's definitely talking to you. There's like a hair in my mouth, sorry. Definitely talking to you about change. There is a process of events that needs to happen before this change can come about. So don't expect it overnight, but perhaps within one moon cycle, within around 30 days, this process will be underway. And then they're saying be enthusiastic. Just know these changes are positive. If you just came from a death cycle, and you've been down, there's nowhere else to go but up. Have you ever heard that saying that like rock bottom is the best place to be because there's nowhere you can go but up? And so maybe you hit rock bottom, but they're saying that be enthusiastic because you have nowhere to go but up. So I hope that this resonates with you. I'm sending you so much love and light with this reading. Peace out. So for those of you guys who chose number 4, the hawk feather, let's go ahead and get started. What is your intuition trying to tell you? Ooh, this is the star card. This is the card for people who are Aquarius. Shout out to you, Aquarius. You don't have to be Aquarius in order to resonate with this card, however. But it is talking about being the star in your life and being a leader. This is actually telling you it's time to get out from the shadows, time to get out from the sidelines and be center stage. So I think this is very similar to the first message I got, but it's like kind of a little bit more intense. Like it is time to put yourself out there. This definitely makes me think you might be starting a new social media or something, or getting your brand going, or signing up for that class, or doing a hobby where you get to maybe act or do theater or something like that. This is saying it's time to be center stage. This is a good card for people who are performers. Maybe you've been wondering, should I take some kind of performance arts classes or work towards that, or should I stay on this path? Yes, there's a huge sign for people who are in the performance arts. There's also a message with this card that does say, enjoy being the star of your own life story. It's time for you to focus more on the positive. I kind of get this as a message that you have released a lot of anxiety and a lot of intense energy. You've spent time going around and around in your head, focusing on something that like maybe went wrong or just didn't turn out right, but it's like a new beginning for you, and it's time for you to really put your thoughts on what's more positive. I always tell people, if you're not feeling positive, don't force yourself to, because that is actually a state of resistance. You want to like allow yourself to purge any of the emotions, and sometimes in your life you can go through years of depression, but there comes a certain point where you kind of feel jaded and blank, and you feel like you kind of got everything out, and that's when it's time to start actively pursuing activities that make you feel happy. Because sometimes you can't force yourself to be happy, but doing something that makes you happy or participating in something that makes you happy will help. And so this might be talking about picking up a hobby that will make you happy and kind of energize you and connect you with other people. I also see that this is time for healing, so this might be a good time for you to book a massage. This kind of like what she's wearing kind of makes me think of like, you're getting a massage, and so maybe time to get a massage or some acupuncture or some Reiki healing or a personal reading, a tarot reading from me, very healing. Honestly, whatever you're being guided to do. It could even just be something for free. Do you guys ever go on YouTube and just type in like free Reiki healing? Like sometimes in between my readings, my energy gets like really intense, and I'll have to breathe and lay down and do a Reiki healing. And I love doing free Reiki healings on other people's channels. So check it out. Google and search on YouTube and just find somebody that resonates with you. There's ones where like it's like ASMR and it's like an actual experience where like it feels like you're sitting down with them and then they're like talking to you and talking to you about the process, and then they walk you into the room, and then like you can lay down and on the video it almost looks like they're laying over you and they're doing the energy healing, and it's like feels so real. It's like a legit distance Reiki healing. So check that out. It could be talking about you needing some healing right now, energy healing. Also, there's a message for you about being in a really good place. Like you're really putting down some solid roots and getting a foundation going in your life. And so it's a message about just you're on the right track. There is a lot of mystery surrounding maybe a romantic connection with someone. If you're in a relationship, it could be like you're feeling a little bit of distance with your partner, or you're wondering when is this relationship going to go to the next level or something. I think it is a message about patience. It is Venus retrograde at the time that I'm doing this reading, and so I think it's possible some people will be connecting with a partner. This is actually talking about the coming together of two polar opposites, passion and nurturing, and like a soulmate relationship. So maybe it's a mystery how you're going to meet this person or how they're going to come in your life, but it's a message of faith that this is on its way if it isn't already in your experience. Another message about needing energy healing, and this is the light card. It's making me think you might need more time out in the sunshine. I spend actually a lot of time indoors doing these readings and Skyping people, and so I've been having to really be proactive about just getting outside and going on a walk. It's not that difficult when I'm here in Italy, but I have spent entire days just like inside and like barely even going outside. So make sure you're getting at least 10 minutes of sunlight every day. It's very important for you. And then this is just saying, listen, continue to listen to your intuition because it will continue to speak to you. So I hope that these messages resonated. If anybody is interested, I just restocked my website. You guys might go on my website sometimes and try to order and there's no readings available because I have to limit the amount of orders that I have now because of the demand. But every Wednesday I do restock a couple of readings. And so right now I think I have 4 in-depth left and like maybe 5 basic readings left, or 3, I don't know. Actually, people have been purchasing, so check it out. I should have readings up for a little bit longer if you're interested. And stay tuned. I'll continue to post free content. Everybody who's purchasing personal readings is paying and helping support this channel so I can continue to do free readings like this. So if you have any suggestions on what you would like me to do a personal or a pick a card reading on, then write it down below. I know some people say, oh man, I really want to purchase a reading, but I can't afford it, or just I can't right now, or I already just purchased one, but they have a question, and if you write it in the comments below, then I do add it to a list, and this was actually a reading that a couple people have requested, so I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much, everybody. You guys really are the highlight of every day of mine, and I'm glad to be yours as well, and I will see you later. Peace out.